Hey everybody, welcome to No Way Jose, starring the Boston Mass Jose Raymond. It's been far too long, so let's talk to this man. How you been, Jose?
I'm great. How you doing?
Doing well, aside from the quad tear, but shit
Uh,
happens. I feel like I'm in good company now because Branch tore his quad, Evan tore his quad, Victor, I think, tore his tendon.
yeah,
Uh,
Matt Plant
Satcon,
towards quad.
Satcon tore both quads.
Yeah,
And it happened squatting, 1,200 pounds or was it 1,300? I can't remember. No, I was crossing the street. That's what
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Ah,
You remember when who's it? I don't know why I'm flaking right now. Huge bodybuilder. He lives out in like Palm Springs now. He was massive back in the day. He tore it
yeah,
during a photo shoot.
Jean-Pierre Fuchs.
Jean Pierre Fuchs. Yes.
Yeah. Oof. Those are
Yeah.
some, I still can't get those images out of my head
Yeah.
because
He was laying back
he
with
was
his
in a
legs
power.
under him.
Yeah, they were like folded up, like crumpled under him. And it was like 6 plates aside, maybe seven. It was a
Yeah.
day after a show, and Chris Lund had him. Chris Lund, you had to use real weights. He never used fake weights in his shoots. So, oof, yeah. I'm actually very lucky it didn't happen in the gym, like under
Yeah.
with weight on top of me or something. I'd probably be in a lot worse predicament right now. But enough about that. Man, we haven't talked in so long, and there's been so many things going on. We're going to go through a few different topics today because all these things I've been like, I want to talk to Jose about this, about that. So the
Yeah.
first thing I want to talk about is the Tren obsession. These young kids now, they don't talk about steroids or PEDs. It's Tren. It's like it's the only thing that exists in their mind. They're doing like the 30-day Tren challenge. There's these kids that are young guys made a huge career as calling themselves the Tren Twins.
Yeah.
How did Tren? And you're in the middle of this because you train at a gym and you're a trainer at a gym with a lot of young people, so you're more in touch with the youth than I am. Uh, you come up on these kids that are in the 18 to 22 age range every day. How did they get so focused, so laser focused on this one particular drug? Any idea?
I don't think it's any more than it was years ago. I mean, there's always been the jokes about Tren, Tren hard, and
Eat Glenn.
I don't know, man, because it is widely known as the most powerful anabolic compound. So
Mhm.
yeah, people are going to use it, and the young kids are just. I mean, social media is just out of control now. So it's I don't know, man. I just hope they're safe. I hope they're not doing the things that they're saying.
Yeah.
Because doing like 750 of Tren is not good. They used to come in 76 milligram ampules. That
Bowling.
tells you for a
Yeah.
reason because you don't need a lot of it.
Yeah.
You have two or three of those 76 milligrams, you're good a week.
Dorian said many times, I think he used two of those a week, two or three. I think it was two. And
Yep.
nobody believes him, but here we are. Yeah, I think it's social media because we didn't have obviously TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all that. And that's where they spread all these memes about it. It's like a joke. And it's all I hear about. I don't hear them using the word PDs or steroids or anything now. It's Tren. And the thing that worries me is, as you say, it is the most anabolic compound you can get. It's very, very powerful, very effective, but it's also very toxic. I think it's like putting someone who's never driven a car before. You should probably, if you have a kid that just got his license and you're a parent, you don't buy them a Bugatti as their first car. You get
Yeah.
them something that's a little slower, maybe like a Volvo or something with like a roll cage built into it where they can't kill themselves.
Yeah.
You don't put them in something with a V12 engine with friggin' 800 1,000 horsepower where they can slam it, touch the pedal and slam into a tree. That
Yeah.
that's my concern. Is it's more of an advanced steroid. I feel for people that have been using gear for at least a little while. Do you think do you agree with that or not?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't see any reason for a teenager to be doing anything,
Oh, true.
test or anything, unless it's medically for medical purpose. But I mean, if they're doing it, you just want them to be safe and to know if anyone's watching, you do not need a lot of Tren if you're using it. I mean, 300 milligrams a week would be more than enough. You know,
You said
I
it's
would even
more
say 50 milligrams
a week. Oh,
every other. No,
oh,
like 50 milligrams 3 times a week. That's plenty.
yeah. Like you said, it's a lot more powerful than test. So, 300 milligrams of Tren, I would say is probably equivalent to at least double that amount of test in terms of the results you're going to see.
Yeah,
So, but I do hear kids saying a gram of Tren. I'm like, a gram of Tren?
that's
My God,
crazy.
it's a lot.
That that's just stupid. I don't. You know, young kids are riskier. You know, they're gonna live forever. They
Right.
feel indestructible. But if you do that for any extended period of time, there's going to be some consequences.
Uh,
No question.
All right, we're moving on. More topics, more topics. The point system. We only had the point system for, I don't know, like 4 years. It wasn't even around that long. They
Yeah.
got rid of it after last year. And I think the reason they got rid of it was because everyone was bitching the Olympia took like way too long. There was too many competitors. And now I think we're realizing the point system only gave us two people in every division. So it was only making the Olympia bigger in numbers by 20 people total. So that's why we had over 300 people in the Olympia last year with all the divisions combined. And it went till, as you know, we were there till like 1, 2 in the morning. I
Yeah.
think Friday night and Saturday night. It went on forever. So the point system's gone, and we've seen a few cases where there were guys that probably would have gotten to the Olympia because they got second, and a couple of them, like Hassan Mustafa had to just keep doing shows until he
Yeah.
won something. Whereas last year, that would have been enough to get him in the Olympia, taking second in a few different shows.
Yeah.
What did you think? Do you think we should bring it back? Did we need it in the first place? Does it make any difference at all that the point system that we had?
No, I don't. I think you should win. You should have to win a show to get in.
Yeah,
Period.
fair enough.
In like the top three, if you're top three in the previous Olympia, you get in. Otherwise, you got to win a show.
Okay, fair enough. So
And
like,
I think there should be a point system for men's physique and bikini because there's so many of them in classic. Like if you win a show, I think that shouldn't automatically send you to the Olympia. You should have to win a certain tier show. If it's a third tier show, well, you got to win two of them. You know
that's a good one.
that
No,
way
that's a
there's not 76 bikini girls at the Olympia.
we did
I
have
don't
over
think there should be
60.
more than 20.
Yeah, that's a good amount. That's manageable.
Yeah,
Because, another idea, because people kept after last year's Olympia, everyone's like trying to figure out ways to make it so that we don't have so many competitors. And one idea that kept coming up was to have like a preliminaries or a cut day where it's ridiculous. It's too many athletes. We can't do that either. But there would be a day where there's like a pre-judging where we get rid of like half the lineup. So if there's 70 people in men's physique that are in the Olympic, they all want to show because every weekend there is 1, 2, 3 men's physique shows and bikini shows somewhere because a lot of shows they'll tack on. There's a ton of shows don't have open bodybuilding or 212, but a lot of shows will have bikini and men's physique, like just a regional show. So that's why
yeah,
we ended up with so many of those guys and girls.
right.
So well, yeah, what do you say? They have to win two. Maybe there should be a policy where if there is more than 50 shows per division, you have to win two or something. Maybe that's
Right.
not because, good Lord, there's
I
a lot of
think they've already started something like that.
those.
I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure they've already implemented something like that because there's so many shows.
The Olympia is supposed to be elite. Like
Exactly.
it's not supposed to be 70 people in every class.
No.
When you get to comparing it to something like the Olympics does have qualifying heats and all that, and you don't have 1,000 guys running on the track at one time.
Right.
So I hope they do cut it down somewhere so it's more. Because last year, I mean, the athletes, you must have talked to guys. They were backstage like cramped, like nowhere to move, nowhere to lie down, no room.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were back there for hours,
Yeah.
hours and hours. It's not an enjoyable experience for the athletes, and it's not an enjoyable experience for the fans that are there for literally 7 hours. Like it, it's it's crazy. I think it should be limited to the 25 best in the world. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's a good amount. It's a good amount. So moving on, another topic, classic physique. We just saw another bump, hopefully the final bump increase in weight. So they had two different increases. The division was created at the very end of 2015. 2016 was the first year for classic physique. They immediately got, after that season, they got 5 pounds for every height. Because as you know, it goes from every height by inch. So between 5'3" and 5'4" is one weight, 5'4", and so on and so on. You have to be within a certain parameter. They got another 5 pounds, I think, the year after that. So 10 pounds from the original weights that were created, and that stayed the same for a few years. And then Tyler just announced right before, was it the Tampa show, I think, or Texas? I think it
Texas.
was, yeah, literally like 3 days before the show. We got new weights. Everyone got a few more pounds, and it's effective immediately, which is great because nobody had to. People said, "Oh no." I said, "That's a good thing because now it's not like they had to get to a lower weight than they thought. Now they have a few extra pounds. So maybe some people are panicking that they had to get down to, I don't know, like 180. Now they're not going to have to do anything drastic that they would have had to do.
Yeah.
But so this is probably the last. And I think one good thing that Tyler mentioned was it was really to benefit or to make things a little more even in terms of playing field for the guys who were like under, say, 5'10", because the weight jumps were much larger for the heavier guy, for the taller guys. They
Right.
had like bigger spans of weight. Like Bumstead, like he only gets like an extra 2 pounds being between 6'1" and 6'2". And I
Yeah.
think someone like Ruffin in a shorter class, I think he got like 7 pounds for that particular range. So first question for you, was this something you think was necessary? Did they need more weight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you see all the top guys, um, like Ramon, the young Ramon Ers, they're going to outgrow the division if they don't do something about it. And these are the superstars of the division. So we need, and they're not gigantic like open bodybuilders, but they are growing, and that's what bodybuilding is. It's about growing, and I think that's a great idea to give them a little bit. It's not saying here put on 15 pounds and turn into a an open competitor. It's just like, just over time, even if they don't get bigger, they get denser and harder, and that muscle's heavier. So they're going to get heavier no matter what.
Yeah.
Even towards the end of my career, I was competing at 210, 211, 209, and I wasn't any bigger than I was 2, 3 years prior. And I was heavier on stage. Even at the end, when half of my leg was gone, I was still really heavy because you just keep getting heavier.
Do you feel like this was done? I know you're not going to buy into conspiracy theories, but do you feel like it was done to keep certain people maybe in the division, or just people in the division in general when they might have been unable to stay because they were going to grow out of it? Like Urs, I heard Urs was like 275 in the off season.
Yeah, he was, and he was in good shape. It's
How's
bizarre.
he? So how's he going to get down to? I think he's got to.
220,
Is it 220 now? It was less before. It was like I think he had to be.
222.
I think he had to be like 212 before they bumped it up. But people like that and Ramon, like you said, young guys that are
Yeah.
still growing and they're tremendously popular. They're great for the sport. They're great
Yeah.
for the division. And we would have lost them, or they would have had to do crazy
Drastic.
things, very drastic to try to make weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why do you think that? Why do you think the IFBB and the NPC decided this was necessary?
Because Tyler's smart.
Hmm.
And, he wants to continue growing the superstars of the league. And if you stifle them and put a cap on them that's unrealistic when they're only 24, 25, 26 years old, you're going to lose them. Or they're going to do something drastic. And we don't want that. So I think it was very smart, very needed. And, there's going to be other people that can now fit in the class as well. So I think it's a great idea. I think it was very smart, and I think it's going to save some careers for sure.
So on a related note, right before that, the men's physique, it was announced that men's physique, at least the pro guys, not the amateurs, I don't think, they're going to have weight caps now because they had been getting bigger. But that made me wonder, did we need to give these guys weight caps? Or if they were too big, couldn't you just score them down and say, that's not the look we're going for?
In men's physique,
Yeah, they're gonna have weight caps now too.
yeah, yeah, I don't know if that was entirely necessary because, like you said, they can just say you're too big. And I'm sure if Branch Warren went out and did a men's physique show, they'd say, Branch, you're way too big.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you weigh, it's not the look we're going for. So I don't know that there was necessarily
Yeah, I mean, if somebody, we've both been to shows where there were guys that came out in the men's physique division that looked like straight up bodybuilders,
yeah,
just freaks,
yeah,
veins, just full, that look of an open bodybuilder, but they just had board shorts on.
yeah,
Typically, those guys, they were like third call out. The judges are like, "Fuck you doing? What are you thinking? No, no, go do
yeah,
bodybuilding, build your legs up, and come back as a bodybuilder." So now the concern is these guys are still going to want to have the freakish upper bodies, but to make the weight cap, they're just going to stop training legs and lose their leg size. And Tyler said, "No, we're going to judge their legs." But how do you do that? I guess the shorts are pretty tight now. They're not really board. They're not like board shorts, a few years ago. Now these guys have like skin tight shorts on. They're almost
yeah,
like tights.
yeah.
So do
No,
you
I
think
think it's
guys
a
are
good
going to do
idea.
that?
They should judge the legs.
Hmm.
It's not the most important thing, but if your legs look so ridiculous, then you're going to get marked down. I don't care what. If there's one guy who's very balanced with good legs, they're not crazy, and then another guy whose upper body's great, but he's got toothpicks, it's an easy call. It is what it is. If two guys are perfectly matched, and it's where are you going to make the decision? Well, I'm going to look at his legs. I think they've been judging legs from the beginning. You know?
I don't think so and I say that because I can vividly recall a few times, even pro shows where all you could see is really the calves for the most part because the shorts
Yeah,
go to just above the knee. I've seen guys with legit looks like a bone with some skin stretched over it for their
yeah,
calves, and they're
yeah,
winning, and they're winning, or they're taking top three, top five. So I'm like, why do they even have? Why don't they just wear pants if you can win with zero calves? I
yeah,
understand calves. I'm not. I understand that people with awesome calves is a genetic component. It's not like they ever had
yeah,
skinny calves, but still, it's odd to see these guys with these massive wide backs, delts like cannonballs, chest, arms, midsection, and then these calves look like they've never done a freaking calf raise in their life. So I don't
yeah.
know if they were ever judged.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. I'm sure. Just what I said, because I've been judging for 15 years, and when it's close and you got to judge something,
True,
that's where you look.
true, true.
It's simple as that. I don't think that's the main objective is looking at the legs, but if that's what it comes down to, then so be it.
Yeah.
But
So what do
you
you
know
think?
what I like? I
Hmm.
like that Tyler went out of his way to say about Andrew's side tricep, how that's not a side tricep, that you have to literally turn to the side and show the side of your leg in a
Cool,
side tricep. Because
cool.
I went against a guy that did it just like Andrew, and I was always get pissed. I'm like, it's not even a side tricep; it's a front tricep.
Beautiful pose though, but yeah, you're right. It's not really a side tricep.
Yeah,
It's more
yeah,
like your favorite classic pose or something.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
like that he came out and said, "Listen, from now on, we want to see the side of your leg. We're judging the side of your leg.
Yeah.
That's good."
No, I applaud Tyler. He's been going and being very, very specific. This is what we want to see. This is why after shows he's been posting. This is why this guy won and this guy took second and third. This is why, he's
Yeah,
explained the criteria where in the past people were just, it's politics and nothing was ever explained to them. So they would just form these conspiracy theories. All right,
yeah, I love it.
last thing I want to talk to you about is Masters Olympia. We're both over 40. I'm way over 40.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too.
are you 50 this year finally?
No,
What's
two
taking
years.
what is taking so long for you to turn 50? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, hopefully
Wow.
it slows down.
So let me figure this out. Tito and I, your older brothers, were born in 1969. So
Yep.
what were you, 75?
74,
74.
December
Okay. So
29th.
yeah, I know the day. It's my wife's
Yeah,
birthday. Yeah. So
yeah,
next year. Okay. So you're only 48. You're just a young guy. Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you grew the hair back too. But
Yeah.
so first of all, Kamala Garni, great champion. Congratulations. Did you watch the show?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, what do you think?
I thought
Overall,
Kamal won. I thought he was great. He's just so polished. You know, the skin. He's got a full head of hair. He's still jacked. I mean, he won clearly, and that was a great version of probably the best version of Max that I've seen. I mean, possibly ever. Like he was so balanced and you know, great condition, really good condition. But um, Kamal is just, especially from behind, his back and his rear double, and yeah, he's kind of in a league of his own at that age with that age group.
here's the little battle I was having inside my head. As soon as the list came out, months before, I saw there was a lot of names on there who weren't, they had never. Some of these people I had never even heard of. A lot of them I know had never been on an Olympia stage, or even, you know, a lot of them had never gotten like top five in an open show. Period.
Yeah,
So I said, why would we have these guys? The Olympia title, the Olympian name is supposed to be for the elite. I don't know if all these people belong there. And then the other side of me said, well, this gives these people a chance to really show them. A lot of these people didn't get into it till later in life. This is an
yeah,
amazing opportunity for them. This is their dream. We all bodybuilders dream about being on the Olympia stage, and this
yeah.
was a real great opportunity for a lot of those people to be on the Olympia stage. But still, a part of me said this. I wanted to see some bigger names. I think there would have been a lot more excitement. Obviously, people like Phil Heath and Jay Cutler, they've moved on. They're way beyond competing. There's just no way you were going to get them back on the stage for this. But where do you feel, where would you fall in that argument as far as have to have been top five in an open show, or maybe even you have to have competed in the Olympia, versus if you're over 40 and the promoters deem that you're good enough, then yeah, come on and join us on the Olympia stage.
Well, there was a selection process.
Yeah.
Not everyone got in. So I think they did a good job. There's just not people like myself, Jay, Victor, Phil. We competed for literally 20 something years, and at the level that we competed at, the intensity is just gone. That's gone. That doesn't exist anymore. The desire to want to do that, no way. That stage of my life is over. It's there's not even like I don't know. Like there's not
Okay,
really even a number. Plus, I would look like dog shit.
let's
I
just
don't
say,
ever want to
I know
get on stage and not look
if
good.
if your body was able to look the way it did, the last couple of years you were still competing, if you had no issues with your hip, your shoulder, things like that, would you have even considered it? Would you have considered if the prize money was greater? Was there anything that could have enticed you to do the Masters Olympia?
So the only way would have been so. I mean, I won the Arnold at 41, and the I could have arguably won a Masters Mr. Olympia at that point. So if the money was good and it was around the time that I was competing, sure, I would have done it if the money was worth it. But yeah, and if the promoters took care of you, I was very lucky. I competed in a time when the promoters paid for travel and you know it was a no-brainer to go do the show. They're going to pay for my flight and hotel, and I just got to be in shape.
Right.
So I don't think that exists. I certainly wouldn't pay, you know, $2,000 to fly to Romania, put myself up to win $5,000. No, it's got to be worth me leaving my home.
I didn't ask you about the 212 results. Hide and Dave Henry were battling it out.
Yeah.
Judges went with Hide. Is that where would you have picked Hide?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I mean, certainly from behind, it looked like David killed it. But I think for the last few years, David's had like a little distension in his midsection, and it threw off some of the front poses. And that's particularly where Hide's good. Is his midsection's really tight, and his condition was good. Obviously, his posing is incredible, and it was probably a hard decision, but he looked to be maybe in better condition from the front than David, and then his presentation was good. I wasn't there, so it would be unfair for me to really speculate. I love both those guys, but yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong with Hide. Hide's a unbelievable ambassador for the sport, so there's no wrong answer there.
I don't know if were following him leading up to the show, but up until like a week before the show, I was like, "Oh my God, he looks horrible." Something I hate to put it that way, but I was like, this guy's going to be like second call out. The things were not. I was not impressed. The condition didn't look right. His legs looked like they were downsized, and whatever he did in the last couple weeks pulled a rabbit out of a freaking hat because he looked 1,000 times better.
Yeah, he was in good condition, and certainly, like I said, those front poses, the side poses. He's always been able to do that. Like you don't you're like don't look that great, but then when you line him up next to people and he just starts out posing them, like he knows how to make that what he has look bigger. His front lat spread's very impressive. He's got really good delts, his pecs, his side chest is really impressive. He just knows how to pose, and that's a huge attribute to have as a bodybuilder. You have to know how to outpose people.
I didn't have a huge problem with him winning. I want to give
No.
a shout out to two guys we both know, originally both from is that a B, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
We had Derek Farnsworth in the show, looked great,
Yeah.
and Greg
Yeah.
Rando, probably the best condition I think I've ever seen Greg Rando in.
Yeah. He was peeled.
Yeah, your old roommate from many, many years ago.
Yeah.
Uh, I want to give a little perspective on the Masters Olympia before we go. The first Masters, Mr. Olympia, it was only a Mr. Olympia. It was just, open men. We didn't call it anything else back then. 1994, your top five were Robbie Robinson was the winner, Lou Ferrigno second, Boyer Coe third, Chris Dickerson in fourth, who had been 1982 Mr. Olympia. Fifth place, Olivanas from Finland. Danny Padilla was in it that year. Ed Corney was in it. Other guys who competed a few years later, Casey Vader, Charles Glass, Vince Taylor won it a bunch of times. So that was held from 1994 to 2003. Then they didn't have it again until 2012. And then we haven't had it till now. So 2012 was like a one-off in Miami.
That
That
was
was
when Dexter won.
the extra one. There were 34 men in the lineup. It was a huge, huge lineup. Your
And
top,
I heard he didn't get paid.
yeah, I think, yeah, I knew that the show was in trouble because I was out in Miami 2 months before that, and I met that woman Jarka, very nice woman. She had a little private training gym. I went and stopped by and actually got a leg workout with Jason Genova there. But she was trying to raise all the money for everything. She wasn't getting many sponsors. She was making like a coffee table book of bodybuilding photos, and she was hoping the sales proceeds from that were going to fund everything, which clearly they didn't. So yeah, I guess Dexter never got paid. I guess so. It was Dexter, Tony Freeman, Dennis James, Ed Nunn, and Ronnie Raquel were the top five. And then they didn't
Wow.
have that was 2012, and they didn't have it again until this is 2011 years later. We just had it. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a regular thing now with Jake and Alina putting on, but I suspect it's going to stay in Romania. I don't think they're going to bring it over here. So
Well,
it is
if
what
it's
it is.
successful, why not?
Exactly. I mean, the European fans, they usually have to come over here. They always have to come here for the Olympia because we used to have Olympias over in Europe all the time years ago, but for a very long time, they've all had to come over here. So let's give them the Masters. You guys can have that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any breaking news that you want to share? What's going on with you or anything you want to promote?
Not much.
Yeah.
Just killing it at Gym Hub. It's been fun. A lot of fun in there.
Yeah. So guys, if you're in the Boston area, because occasionally people will say, I'm coming to Boston, where should I train? You should train at Gym Hub. Gym Hub, owned by Nate Tello, IFBB Pro. You're a
Yeah.
good friend there. Great bodybuilder in his own right, and
Yeah.
crazy good equipment. Very handpicked from, where'd you go to, like 20 different gyms around the world to
Oh
find
yeah,
that?
we were everywhere. Yeah.
You guys were on tour for a while, just checking out equipment, testing
Yeah.
things out. So yeah, Gym Hub, and if you're lucky, you might get to see Jose there. He's
I'm there every day.
there every day training people.
Yeah.
So okay, so I want you guys to give him a follow on Instagram. It's the with two E's, the Boston Mass. And on this YouTube, which you should be watching this on right now, go to the Boston Mass channel. Great content on there. And what else? Did I get everything? Do you still have the bostonmass.com website going?
Yep.
Okay. So for merchandise and other things, go to thebostonmass.com. Check all that out. Support this guy here. He's awesome. I love him. And that's it, man. I appreciate this. It's been way too long since we did one of these.
I know. We'll
Yeah.
keep
Months.
doing it.
Yeah. Well, I'm home for the I won't be driving anywhere. I won't be going anywhere for quite a while. So you'll probably be hearing from me.
Good, good,
Yeah.
good. Well, heal up.
Yeah, I will do. Surgery in a couple days. All right, man. Thank you so much, Jose. Appreciate it.
You got it, buddy.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, turn on notifications, do all that good stuff. And thanks for watching this episode of No Way Jose, starring the Boston Mass, Jose Raymond. We'll see you next time. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.